Hey beauties, it's your girl Tila Danae, and I am back with another video. Finally, I am so sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you guys, but so much has happened. But that's for a whole nother video. But I did try to make an update, letting you guys know some things back in December. That was a no-go because it looked awful when I edited it, tossed it, made another video, cracked my phone, lost my data, and it's just been one thing after the other. So with that being said, I'm here to update you guys on where I am now in my nursing journey. If you've been following me on Instagram, you may know a little bit more, but if not, then you're probably wondering, am I still in nursing school? Did I fail out? Did I fail a class? What happened? Stay tuned to find out. So, let's talk nursing. Alright, so you're watching this video and you're probably wondering how I'm doing in my nursing program. Am I still in the nursing program? Did I fail? Did I fail out of the program, or did I fail a class or a test, or what happened? On my last video, I was telling you how I was in pharmacology and how I had to take a proctor. And this proctor is a very heavily weight test that we have to take through ATI. And for our program, pretty much the only way you're going to pass the class is you have to pretty much have an A already in the class when you take the proctor. Otherwise, you're going to fail the class. So I took my proctor and I was passing my class at the time. I did not have an A, but I was passing my class, you know, and I did not pass the proctor. So therefore, I did not pass pharmacology class. Yeah. I was taken aback. I think I was a little bit like shocked because I did not expect that I would be failing a class, and I did not have a plan for what I would do if I failed a class. I mean, you know, and I just didn't think it would happen to me, and it did. So I'm going to kind of give you 5 things to help you recover from failing a class. All right, so my first one is take a deep breath, feel the emotion, and come up with a plan. So what I mean by that is, take it in, you failed your class. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. You are not the first person to fail. You probably will not be the last person to fail. It is okay. Do whatever you need to do to make it okay for yourself. If you need to cry, scream, vent to somebody, talk to somebody, whatever you need to do what you need to do so you can feel okay about failing this class. Maybe you got to give yourself a pep talk. Maybe your self-esteem is feeling down. Maybe you're not feeling smart, or maybe you feel like you don't know anything. You know, whatever you may be doing, tell yourself, you know, give yourself a pep talk like, hey, you know, how many people may have applied to nursing school and didn't even get in? You know, hey, I made it in. You know, talk to yourself like this, you know, or maybe you need to tell yourself, you know what, how many people wanted to be a nurse and they never even made the first step to apply? I did that. You know, this is all building your self-esteem back up. Or you need to say, hey, you know, to pass a class in nursing school, you got to get A's and B's. Okay, really failing class just means I got a C. So I'm not, you know, so, I mean, C may not be the best grade, but hey, if I was taking another class, you know, I might have been okay with this C. But just a nursing school, a C is failing. So, you know, do this so you can, you know, give yourself a pep talk so you can feel better about yourself if that's what you need to do. Whatever you need to do emotionally, let that all out and make a plan. Like, do you gotta take this class over? Do you gotta go to summer school? Are you gonna have to sit out a semester because you failed a class? What do you have to do? In my case, I couldn't move on with OB and I couldn't move on with med-surg, so I had to take pharmacology over. You do not get put out the program if you fail a class. You do get an opportunity to take the class over in my program. But if that was not the case, do you think that would have stopped me from being a nurse? No. I would have made another plan to figure out, maybe I'm going to brush up on my form a little bit more, go to another school, and then reapply for nursing school and try again. You do not have to give up on your dream to be a nurse because you failed a class. That's my number 1 tip. Number 2, financial aid. Okay, let's talk money. some of us can't just be taking classes overall willy-nilly. You know, we got financial aid, or where this is our second degree, like this is for me, and it's like, oh my God, this is another couple of hundreds of, some more thousands of dollars I'm gonna have to pay in my pocket now because of this. So learn how this is going to impact your financial aid. Sometimes when you fail a class, sometimes you go to academic probation, or maybe, you know, it's going to set you back. Maybe you have so long to graduate because you have a scholarship. Is it going to affect that? Or maybe you have a scholarship that says you have to get a certain GPA. So find out what it's going to do, how it's going to affect your financial aid or your scholarships, and make a plan for that. Talk to your financial aid advisor and get those things squared out the way. Because once you get those first steps squared out the way, then you can focus on what you need to do to make sure this doesn't happen again. And that brings me to my number 3. Be honest with yourself about why you failed this class. Very, very important. For example, I had to be honest with myself. If you were watching my last video, then you heard me come on and talk about how I was just having a really difficult time. I was working 32 to 40 hours, and I'm in an accelerated nursing school program. My semesters or quarters are only 12 weeks long. I'm taking 4 or 5 classes, clinicals, and I was just overloaded. I was trying to do too much, which is typical of me because I don't know what is wrong with me. But anyway, I was just doing way too much. And I had to say, Tila, you don't have to be Superwoman. Stop. I had to go down on my hours at work because I couldn't work all that and study because I wasn't able to study the amount of time that it required. Pharmacology is a very heavy class. It requires a lot of studying because it's so much information being jam-packed into your brain, and I had to get it all jam-packed into my brain in 12 weeks. I also had a lot of personal issues going on. I had some financial stuff that came up out of the blue, with my car and everything. I had to let go of some relationships that were distracting me. It's just like my whole little world just started crumbling apart at this time in my life. Also, I was not even sleeping. I mean, I was getting very little rest. There was times that I would go in and take tests and I had been up over 24 hours. Easily, several times. Easily. I was so exhausted and I was doing so much that I started to sleepwalk. Yes. I didn't know that you could be so sleep deprived, or maybe it's just me. I probably should get a sleep study to see what's going on. But I would literally be walking, and all of a sudden I would wake up in a whole another room with something in my hand, having no clue how I got there. It was really kind of scary because I was so sleep deprived that I was sleepwalking. So, you know, when you're trying to do too much, it can be very detrimental, not only to your grades, but to your health. Honestly, I had to say, so, you know, I need to cut out all that stuff and remember my goal. My goal was to get in nursing school and graduate on time. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to let anything stand in my way, not even myself. So I had to get myself out the way. And after you do that, you decide that you are going to get on track and that you are honest with yourself. Big thing, because if you're not honest with yourself, then you're going to end up repeating the same cycle. You're going to end up doing it again. So that's why it's so important to be honest with yourself and fix the situations in your life that caused you to fail the first time, so this does not happen again. That's the whole point of this video. Have a plan for if you fail. You don't want to be failing again, okay? Number four, get an accountability partner. Now tell them you failed and why, and then tell them your plan to make sure you stay on track. Why is this important? Because we are creatures of habit. We go back into our same patterns because it's a habit. So to make sure you don't fall back into your old habits, whether it's getting on Facebook instead of studying, or Instagram, or whatever your thing may be, or maybe it's, you know, hanging out with your friends, or maybe it's taking care of your family and doing everything without doing homework, whatever it may be. Before you get back in that same pattern, make sure you have someone who can say, hey, I saw that you've been out the last 2 weekends in a row and you told me you didn't do any studying, you know, so I just want to make sure you're studying, and I want to make sure you're doing, because you told me that your goal was to do this and your goal was to do that. Have somebody like that where they can tell you this and you won't get all in your feelings about it, okay? Because you have appointed this person to be your accountability partner, to get you back in line when you are getting off track. you know. So if that's what you need to do, do that. Hey, get back to studying. Maybe they got to call you at 6 and say, hey, I see you on Facebook. Get back to studying. You know, whatever it may be. Whatever works for you. All right. And the last and final tip, if you fail a class, is to just move on. Move on. Let go. Why is that important? Because you failed a class. Big deal. Don't let this eat you up. Is it going to be fun seeing that grade on your transcript? No. But let it go. Don't hold on to this, because if you hold on to this, it could create doubt and insecurity in yourself. And then every time you go to take tests or with your school or with everything, you're going to have that doubt creeping in, saying, remember, you failed, you're not this and you're not that. Don't let those inner voices come in and try to tell you what you're not because you failed a class. Because we all know that failure is the way to success. There's not very many people in this world who have had success that have not at least failed one time. Failure is not the end of the world. Failure is just a little bit of a move in the right direction, or a little bit of a push in a different direction. Or it's just like basically a teacher. It's your greatest teacher. It teaches you about yourself. It teaches you about your goals. You find out I have learned so much about myself through failure than I ever have about success. So learn from this moment. Learn from it and be a better person. Be a better student. Be a better daughter or father or whatever you are. This is an opportunity for you to grow. This is an opportunity for you to see things that are stumbling blocks that get in your way. For me, like I said, putting too much on my plate, you know. Also, maybe you feel like you shouldn't have failed your class. Maybe you're holding on to something because the teacher did this or this and that. I had a little bit of an issue where I felt like I didn't feel like I should have failed this class because I felt like there were some people who had grades that were lower than mine, but because maybe they got a higher grade than me on their final, they passed. And even though they didn't pass their proctor, some of the math didn't add up. And I didn't understand why some people moved on and some people didn't. And but I didn't allow that to get me too upset. I didn't worry about it too much. It is what it is. It happened. And our teacher was just, I'm not going to say, but my face tells you. But I'm not going to blame anybody. I'm going to take responsibility for it because I know what I was doing and what I could have done to make it better. I'm not going to put the blame on them. Were there contributing factors to me failing? Yes, they were. But whose job was it to pass the class? Mine. Whose job was it to learn? Mine. If my teacher got up there and never taught me a thing, it's my job to learn. Some people may not agree with that. Some people may say, hey, you're paying her to do a job. Yes, that's true. But at the end of the day, it's not about her. It's about me. I'm the one that got to make this grade. So if she's not teaching you, you got to have to figure out how to teach yourself. So anyway, that's my whole rant about that. But yes, I did have that issue, but I let it go. I let it all go. If I didn't let that go, I'd still be harboring anger and resentment, and I wouldn't be moved on. So from that, I actually was able to move on. I actually had to take my class over again. I learned from my mistakes. I knew what I needed to do to be better this time. I knew what I needed to study. I know how much time to devote to the class. I decreased my workload, and I got an A in pharmacology the second time that I took it. Yay! And I passed my proctor with a very good score, I might add. So, yay! So those are things that I did because I decided that I was not going to let that failure stand in my way. So I am still in nursing school. Yes, I'm not off track for graduation at all. I'm still graduating at the same time that I would have. I'm just a quarter behind in some classes. So, but I'm also ahead in some classes because I did have a previous degree. So I'm okay. I'm still set to graduate when I was supposed to graduate in the beginning, and all is well. I will also want to add to that, I'm actually, now that I've been through this, I'm actually glad I failed because I actually have had a better experience with my OB and my med search, which I'll get into that and I'll tell you guys what's going on. But had I not failed this class, I would not have been able to go to the clinical site that I went to and lots of things would be different. So, you know, I believe God works in mysterious ways and everything happens for a reason. And I believe I'm right where I'm supposed to be and that nothing happened that shouldn't have happened. So thank you all for your well wishes and your support. Thank you for checking in on me to see how I'm doing. And I hope you are encouraged that if you failed your class or if you failed something, that you do not give up on your dream. If you take one thing from this whole video, it is, I want you to know that you do not have to give up because you failed. Failure is not the end. It is just part of the process. So it's just part of the journey, you know what I mean? So I want you to take that away and remember that when you fail a test, remember that when you have a failed relationship, anything in your life that you fail at. So anyway, with that being said, beauties, I hope you are doing great. I can't wait to hear how you guys are doing on your journeys in nursing school. Thank you all for everything, and I'm going to be better at making these videos, and I'm going to update you guys about how I'm doing in OB, which I love, and even med-surg. I'm actually enjoying med-surg as well. So anyway, stay tuned and keep in touch. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. If you like this channel, if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys. Also follow me. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. If you like this channel, if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys. Also follow me on Instagram at Tila Danae. What's my Instagram name? I'll put it down below. Don't forget to follow me there. So you can kind of keep up on my journey because I do put posts on Instagram or whatever. So, all right. Thank you guys. And I'll be in touch. Till next time. Smooches.